Imagine for a moment that everything you believe about your potential, your limits, your future is incomplete. What if I told you that the difference between the life you live and the life you dream of isn't luck, isn't timing, and isn't even talent? It's a set of skills, 3 skills, that when mastered can make you unstoppable. And here's the astonishing part. These skills aren't secret. They aren't hidden in a vault somewhere waiting for the chosen few. They're accessible to anyone willing to commit, willing to learn, and willing to act. Today I want to challenge you. I want to push you to see that the life you think is possible for yourself might only be a fraction of what you could achieve. If you embrace these skills, your limits don't just shift, they disappear. I've spent decades looking at what separates extraordinary people from the rest. I've watched young students transform into tech innovators. I've seen organizations evolve because a few individuals decided they wouldn't settle for good enough. And the truth is, most of us never even try to reach that level. Not because we can't, but because we never learn the right way to approach life. Let me share a story. When I was in my early 20s, co-founding a company in a small garage, I wasn't the smartest person in the room. I didn't have all the answers, but I had a hunger to learn, a determination to grow, and a discipline that didn't allow excuses. Every day, I asked myself, how can I get better today than I was yesterday? That question became my compass. And over time, it revealed the 3 essential skills that make someone unstoppable, not just in business, but in life. Today, I want to share them with you, not as theory, but as practical tools you can start using immediately. This isn't about inspiration alone, it's about transformation. Let's start with the first skill, the ability to learn efficiently, strategically, and constantly. You see, in today's world, knowledge isn't scarce. Information is everywhere. You can find it on the internet, in books, in conversations, in every interaction you have. The scarcity isn't knowledge, it's the ability to learn effectively. And this skill is what separates someone who stagnates from someone who transforms the world. When I was a kid, I devoured books. I didn't just read them, I dissected them. I asked questions. I challenged assumptions. I took complex ideas and simplified them. That's the essence of learning, not memorization, but understanding. Not passivity, but active engagement. Most people think learning stops when school ends. That's the trap. The moment you believe you've graduated from learning is the moment you begin limiting yourself. Think about the people you admire, scientists, entrepreneurs, leaders. They never stopped learning. Warren Buffett reads hundreds of pages a day. Elon Musk absorbs entire disciplines on his own. And the reason they innovate, lead, and succeed is because learning gives them a foundation on which to act decisively. Learning isn't just about acquiring information, it's about building mental models that allow you to make better decisions faster. But here's where it gets personal. Learning how to learn is also about understanding yourself, recognizing how you process information, how you think, how you make decisions, and how you respond to failure. These insights are priceless because they let you take control of your life. You become the architect of your own mind. Let me give you a practical framework. Every week, set aside time to learn deliberately. Choose a topic outside your comfort zone, not something easy, something that challenges you, forces you to stretch, and pushes you to connect ideas in new ways. Take notes, ask questions, teach what you learned to someone else. Teaching forces clarity. Clarity forces mastery. And mastery builds confidence. Confidence is the soil from which all action grows. There's another part most people ignore. Learning isn't linear. You will fail, you will forget, you will feel frustrated. But that is the signal that your brain is rewiring, that growth is happening. The more you embrace that discomfort, the faster you evolve. And here's the kicker. Learning isn't just a skill, it's a superpower. It allows you to adapt to any circumstance, to seize opportunities that others can't even see, and to innovate when everyone else is stuck. Let me tell you about a young programmer I met once. She started coding with zero experience, just curiosity. She spent nights debugging, reading, experimenting, failing countless times. A year later, she built software that disrupted a small but critical part of the healthcare industry. What made her unstoppable wasn't talent. It was her relentless commitment to learning. The lesson is clear. If you can learn, you can do anything. And that is the first skill that will make you unstoppable. But there's a deeper layer. Learning is also about connecting ideas, not just acquiring them. When you combine disciplines, say biology and technology or psychology and AI, you create new possibilities. The world doesn't reward isolated expertise anymore. It rewards those who can synthesize knowledge and act on it. That's why learning how to learn is more than a skill. It's the foundation of creativity, innovation, and influence. To master this skill, here's a mindset shift. View life as a laboratory. Everything is data. Every interaction is a lesson. Every mistake is feedback. The moment you stop fearing failure and start extracting lessons from it, you begin a cycle of exponential growth. Remember, you don't have to be the smartest person in the room. You don't have to be perfect, but you must be committed to learning, to curiosity, to the relentless pursuit of understanding. That's what separates the extraordinary from the ordinary. That's what will make you unstoppable. The second skill is discipline and focus. You can be the smartest person alive, but without discipline, your potential is wasted. Discipline is not punishment, it's freedom. It's the freedom to design your life, to control your habits, to ensure that your actions align with your highest goals. Let me share something personal. In my early career, there were countless distractions, temptations to take shortcuts, to follow trends, to chase easy wins. But I realized that real achievement requires consistent effort over long periods. Discipline is what allowed Microsoft to grow from a small startup into a global leader. Discipline is what allows any individual to turn ideas into reality. Focus is the engine of discipline. And here's the paradox. In a world full of constant notifications, endless information, and perpetual noise, focus has become a rare commodity. Most people think focus is about resisting distractions, but it's deeper than that. Focus is about choosing what to dedicate your energy to and ruthlessly ignoring everything else. Consider this. Every minute you spend on something insignificant is a minute stolen from your potential. Every habit you allow to go unchecked compounds over time. Discipline is about creating structures in your life that protect your energy, sharpen your skills, and maintain momentum. It's waking up early when everyone else sleeps, reading when others scroll social media, creating when others procrastinate. I want to tell you a story about persistence through discipline. There was a time when a critical contract could make or break my company. I worked relentlessly, not just in bursts of motivation, but with steady, disciplined effort every single day. Sometimes it meant working late nights, weekends, sacrificing short-term pleasures. But the discipline paid off. We won the contract, built trust, and laid a foundation that lasted decades. That's the power of sustained focus and disciplined action. And discipline isn't just external. It's internal. It's about controlling your mind, your emotions, your reactions. It's about being deliberate in thought and action. Every time you resist a temptation, every time you choose action over comfort, you're training your mind to operate at a higher level. And the compounding effect of this discipline is profound. Now, let's talk about failure. Discipline and focus don't guarantee you won't fail. They guarantee you will learn faster, recover stronger, and push further. Failure is not the enemy. It's a stepping stone. The difference between those who quit and those who succeed is the refusal to let failure dictate your path. When you combine disciplined action with learning from mistakes, you build resilience. You build the ability to adapt. You build unstoppable momentum. Here's a practical approach. Every day, identify the single most important task, the one that will create the greatest impact, and dedicate your best energy to it. Remove distractions. Set boundaries. Measure your progress. Discipline isn't glamorous, but it's transformative. Focus isn't exciting, but it's revolutionary. When you combine the skill of learning with the skill of discipline, something extraordinary happens. You start moving faster than those around you. You make decisions with clarity. You build habits that compound. You create a reputation for reliability, excellence, and impact. And slowly, almost imperceptibly, you become unstoppable. But there's a third layer, the ability to see the future and act with foresight. This is not prediction. It's vision combined with action. The world changes rapidly, and those who succeed are the ones who anticipate trends, adapt, and innovate. You can't control everything, but you can position yourself to thrive no matter what comes. This is the final dimension of unstoppable skill, using your learning and your discipline to shape your path, rather than reacting to circumstances. In conclusion, being unstoppable isn't about talent alone. It's about learning relentlessly, disciplining your life, and focusing your energy with purpose. These skills are available to anyone willing to commit. They aren't glamorous. They require effort, patience, and courage. But they work. They have transformed my life and countless others. And if you embrace them, they can transform yours. So today, I challenge you, start small. Commit to learning every day. Build habits that strengthen your discipline. Focus ruthlessly on what matters most. Fail forward. Persist. And remember this, the world is waiting for the people who refuse to accept limits. Be one of them. Be unstoppable. Now we arrive at the third skill, the one that often separates the good from the extraordinary, the ability to see beyond the present, adapt to change, and remain resilient, no matter what life throws at you. If the first skill, learning, is the engine of your mind, and the second skill, discipline, is the steering wheel, this third skill is the compass. It tells you where to go, how to pivot, and how to recover when things don't go as planned. I want to start with a story from my own journey. In the early days of Microsoft, there were countless moments where success was far from guaranteed. Technology was evolving faster than anyone could predict. Competitors emerged overnight. Some of our projects failed miserably. At the time, these failures felt like personal defeats. They hurt deeply. But the difference between giving up and moving forward was the clarity of vision and the courage to adapt. We had a mission to put a computer on every desk and in every home. That mission gave us focus. But the ability to adapt to circumstances, pivoting, innovating, listening to the market, kept us alive and eventually dominant. Vision is more than just seeing opportunities. Vision is about seeing what could be possible when others see what is. It's about imagining a future that hasn't been built yet and taking the first steps to bring it into reality. Many people underestimate this. They get caught up in short-term challenges and lose sight of the bigger picture. But those with vision see beyond obstacles. They see patterns, trends, and the potential hidden in chaos. Vision allows you to make decisions that others would never dare to make because you are guided not by fear, but by foresight. Here's a practical example. Look at some of the most transformative innovations in history. The internet, the smartphone, renewable energy, vaccines. Each one started as an idea, a vision that seemed almost impossible at the time. And yet someone believed it could happen, adapted to setbacks along the way, and persisted until it became reality. Vision alone isn't enough, though. Without action, it's a dream. But when vision is combined with adaptability and resilience, it becomes unstoppable momentum. Adaptability is the skill that allows you to thrive in an uncertain world. Technology evolves, industries collapse, unexpected events, like global crises or economic downturns, can completely upend your plans. Many people react with fear or denial. But adaptability isn't about reacting. It's about proactively positioning yourself to succeed, even in change. Let me share another story. A young entrepreneur I once met had developed a product that initially failed in the market. Most people would have given up. But instead of seeing it as defeat, she analyzed every failure point, learned from feedback, pivoted her approach, and relaunched. A year later, her product was a massive success, disrupting an entire sector. The key wasn't luck. It was her resilience and willingness to adapt. Every setback became fuel for improvement. Every obstacle, a lesson in strategy. That's the hallmark of unstoppable people. Resilience is closely tied to mindset. Life is never a straight path. Even when you are disciplined, focused, and constantly learning, you will face moments of extreme difficulty. Jobs will be lost, projects will fail, opportunities will vanish, relationships will strain. And when these moments come, resilience is what allows you to get back on your feet, not just to survive, but to thrive. Resilience is built over time through experience. It is strengthened by facing challenges head on, learning from them, and refusing to let temporary failures define your future. Think about the countless innovators, leaders, and pioneers who have been told no or impossible. Each no became an opportunity to adjust, adapt, and improve. Thomas Edison said it best when he said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." The lesson is simple. Failure is not the end. It's the tuition you pay for success. So how do you cultivate vision, adaptability, and resilience in your life? First, develop the habit of looking beyond the immediate horizon. Every week, ask yourself, where am I going? Are my actions today aligning with the person I want to become tomorrow? This simple question can transform your decision-making. It prevents short-term distractions from derailing your long-term objectives. Second, embrace change as an ally, not an enemy. The world is dynamic. It will not wait for you to feel ready. Those who survive and thrive are not the ones who resist change, but the ones who anticipate it, prepare for it, and pivot gracefully when needed. Build flexibility into your life. Be willing to try new methods, explore new ideas, and discard what no longer works. Flexibility does not mean compromise on your vision. It means strategic evolution toward it. Third, cultivate a mindset of resilience through intentional reflection. Journaling, meditation, or even quiet contemplation allows you to process challenges without being overwhelmed. Learn to separate what is within your control from what is not. Take ownership of your actions and responses. And most importantly, never let temporary setbacks erode your belief in yourself. Remember, resilience is not a trait. It's a skill that is strengthened by repeated practice. Every time you recover from difficulty, your resilience grows stronger. Let me give you a concrete example from the tech world. When Windows was first introduced, it faced criticism, technical glitches, and competitors with more established market share. Many companies once, though people have folded or shifted focus. But Microsoft combined vision, a computer in every home, adaptability, responding to market feedback, and resilience, persisting despite criticism to become a global leader. The lesson is clear. Unstoppable people see opportunities where others see failure, and they leverage every setback to move forward. Vision, adaptability, and resilience also intersect with the first two skills we discussed, learning and discipline. Continuous learning ensures that your vision is informed and relevant. Discipline ensures that your efforts toward your vision are consistent and unwavering. And adaptability ensures that when the world shifts, your vision remains achievable. Together, these three skill sets create an unbreakable foundation for personal and professional success. I want to challenge you now. Take a moment and think about your life. Are you seeing the future clearly? Are you prepared to pivot when circumstances change? Do you have the resilience to overcome obstacles that seem insurmountable? Most people shy away from these questions, but the truth is, the sooner you confront them, the sooner you unlock your true potential. Remember, being unstoppable is not about never facing failure. It's about facing failure with courage, responding with insight, and moving forward with relentless energy. It's about taking responsibility for your life and refusing to let external circumstances dictate your outcomes. To put this into action, create a personal vision statement. Define where you want to be in 5, 10, or even 20 years. Break that vision into actionable steps. Anticipate challenges. Build the habits and skills necessary to overcome them. And most importantly, cultivate resilience so that every setback becomes a stepping stone rather than a roadblock. In the end, these three skills, learning, discipline and vision with adaptability and res. Aliens are interconnected. Master one and you grow, master all three and you become unstoppable. The world is full of challenges, uncertainty, and setbacks, but it's also full of opportunity, innovation, and possibility. The people who succeed are not necessarily the smartest or luckiest. They are the ones who commit to growth, act with discipline, and persist through adversity with vision and courage. So I urge you today, don't wait for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, or the perfect conditions. Start now. Learn relentlessly. Build discipline in your daily life. Visualize your future and adapt courageously. Embrace setbacks as lessons. Persist when it's hard. And slowly but surely, you will become unstoppable. You will discover that the limits you once believed existed are nothing but illusions. And one final thought. The skills I've shared with you are universal. They transcend industry, age, background, and circumstance. They are the skills that have allowed humans to innovate, create, and transform the world time and time again. And now they are available to you. The question is simple. Will you take them, master them, and make yourself unstoppable? The choice is yours. And when you act, the world will have no choice but to notice.